basically you have the church nation and this call to raise capital for innovation. So this guy was basically saying, "Hey, we need to raise interest rate because we're business people and we need to make our money back so that we can invest in the community. Trickle down, trickle down, trickle, trickle." So modern consumer credit started in England in 1803, where credit reporting itself originated. So, a group of English tailors came together to swap information about customers who failed to settle their debts. It is the earliest available account of credit reporting.
Hmm.
So tailors talking to each other says, "Oh yeah, Mr. Smith, he doesn't. The butcher says this guy doesn't pay me credit. The other tailor's like, yeah, this guy doesn't pay me credit either. So we're gonna both agree not to give this person any more credit." All right. So in New York in 1864, on the eve of the Civil War, R.G. Dunn and Company, formerly known as the Mercantile Agency, established an alphanumeric system for tracking the credit worthiness of companies. And this system would remain in use until the 20th century. So
Hmm.
just think about that. So in 1899, in Atlanta, a retail credit company is founded and begins compiling an extensive list of credit-worthy customers. And the company later changes its name to Equifax.
Hmm.
And so Equifax today is one of the oldest of the three major credit reporting
Oh.
agencies in the United States. So the consumer boom really begins in Detroit in 1908, where Henry Ford's Model T makes automobiles accessible to the great multitude of people, but they're still too expensive to buy with cash for most families, so
Mm.
credit is established. So General Motors solves the problem in 1919 by loaning consumers the money that they need to buy a new car. So this company is called GMAC, which popularizes the idea of installment plan financing, so they can get a car with just a 35% down payment at the time of financing.
Hmm.
So let's just remember, GMAC is still a major corporation. Now it's a part of Ally Bank. So
Oh.
that's what GMAC became. General Motors Acceptance Corporation became Ally Bank, which I'm a member of.
Okay.
So in USA in 1930, factories are pumping out cheaper consumer products, and credit is established. So so it just continues on in the United States as bank cards become the Bank Americard becomes Visa,
Mm-hmm.
and you have credit, so credit reporters are using index cards in the 50s. And by the 70s, you have the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which sets a legal framework for credit reporting agencies. But really, at the core of it, in 1989 is what we use today, which is the FICO score. So the FICO score was introduced in 1989, and it quickly becomes a standard system to measure credit scores based on objective factors and data. So it's still used by 90 of the 100 largest institutes in the United States to assess credit risk. So part of it is that they take your payment history. How many times
Mm.
have you paid? Part of it is amounts owed. How much debt do you owe? So that's 30%. 5% is the payment history. 10% is new credit. Did you open up a new line of credit recently? 15% is the length of credit history. How long have you had your oldest account? And
Mm.
another 10% is just a credit mix.
Mm.
So yeah, so that is the history of it. And now they have a Vantage score, which is kind of like an average between the top three credit reporting agencies, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And today, yeah, we just have a new era of credit reporting where it's just becomes standard.
Mm.
Mm.
So yeah, that was just a brief history of credit reporting.
Well, thank you, Darren, for giving us the history behind it.
Absolutely. So yeah, with that said, I mean that credit scores really, especially with the FICO score when they introduced it in '89, it was supposed to be a way that it was less discriminatory towards especially people of color,
Yeah.
because credit worthiness was really determined by whoever was giving the
Whoever's
credit.
paying,
So if
right?
they said like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I don't think these black people are going to pay me back, I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
give them credit. They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
However, what we realize is that this new FICO score system, it nobody tells you about what you need to prove your credit worthiness.
Mm-hmm.
Even considered parts that you have to have a long established credit account in order that like that impacts your score,
Mhm.
as well as what your balance is, as well as the amount that you can get,
Mhm.
the credit limit that you can get. So that makes a big difference. All right. So with that said, I mean, I think yeah. Is that is
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
that
today?
kind of wraps it up today, guys. I mean, there's the history of credit. There's a way for you to improve your credit score.
Mhm.
Just, pay double time and pay on time and
Mhm. Be
don't go over the
responsible.
max pay. Don't use more than 30% of your whole credit.
Mhm.
Um, like the amount of credit that you have. There's a number of different ways to, improve
And
it.
if you're
So
responsible, they increase your credit
they
line
increase
too.
your credit
So
limit. They offer you new cards that you can get. You can get
right.
more credit. So yeah, that covers it. But we're back, you guys. We're here, ready to rock and
We're
roll.
back and in full effect.
You guys, I do have to admit, I kind of messed up with the YouTube. I don't think we'll have a YouTube video this time. I don't think the
Well, you know
audio
what? I'm
was
over YouTube, okay?
the audio wasn't recorded
I want
initially.
music.
So
We might have to
yeah,
switch
we
it up
may
next
just
time.
have to switch it up and just do audio.
Maybe we need to live stream from Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
What is
Twitch.
Twitch?
Twitch is you can live stream from there, and I don't think they'll mess with your what's the name.
Oh,
Really?
good. You
Good
know
to
what?
know
It's
because
been
I
good.
want the music.
It's been good, YouTube. Peace out.
All right, y'all.
All
All
right,
right.
y'all.
All right. Take care.
Have a great week. And that